Okay, first up, the Egyptian foot. And yes, it gets the crown because it is literally the most common foot shape on the planet. Here's what it looks like. Your big toe is the longest. Then every single toe after it gets progressively shorter, like a perfect little staircase going down. Boom, neat, orderly, satisfying. Now, what does this supposedly say about you? People with Egyptian feet are described as private, a little mysterious, and they love their alone time. You're not antisocial. You just need time to recharge before you go back out there and be amazing. You're also said to be a bit indulgent. Spa days, yes. Long baths, obviously. The nicest possible version of your morning coffee, non-negotiable. And here's the footwear fun fact. Because we're doing this for every type, Egyptian feet actually struggle with standard shoe sizing because that descending toe line can bunch up in the toe box. Wide fit shoes? Your best friend. Pointy stilettos? Your sworn enemy. Next, the Roman foot. Also called the peasant foot, which honestly feels a little rude, but we'll get to why in a second. The Roman foot has your first 3 toes, big toe, second, third, all roughly the same length, then the 4th and 5th drop off shorter. It looks wide and solid, like a little brick at the end of your leg. What does it say about you? Roman foot people are built different. You are outgoing, sociable, sporty, and you will absolutely drag the whole friend group into some spontaneous activity that nobody planned. Hiking trip? You suggested it. Group costume? Your idea. Weekend road trip with no itinerary? You're already in the car. You're also said to be well-balanced, practical but fun, serious when needed but never boring. The reason it used to be called the peasant foot is because this wide, even shape is incredibly stable, great for working on your feet all day, which historically meant field work. Nowadays, it just means you're probably crushing it at whatever sport you picked up last month. Footwear tip. Wide toe boxes are your jam. Narrow dress shoes will make your afternoon miserable. Oh, here we go. The Greek foot, also called the fire foot or the Morton's toe. And this one? This one has a whole mythology behind it. The Greek foot means your second toe is longer than your big toe. That's it. That one little detail. And apparently this is the foot of leaders. Artists, athletes, visionaries, ancient Greek and Roman sculptures literally gave this foot shape to their gods and heroes because they considered it the most aesthetically ideal shape. Your second toe is longer and art history is on your side. People with Greek feet are described as creative, driven, a little intense, and full of ideas that come at 3 in the morning. You have energy, maybe too much energy. You inspire people and exhaust them, often at the same time. The one downside? Because that second toe takes the brunt of your body weight, Greek-footed people are more prone to ball of foot pain. Good arch support is not optional. It's a lifestyle. The Germanic foot, wide, square, all 5 toes roughly the same length, and the whole foot looks like it means serious business. What it says about you are reliable, rock solid, the person everyone calls when something needs to actually get done. You don't do drama, you don't do vague plans. You show up, you do the thing, and you do it right. Germanic foot people are described as practical, disciplined, and a little stubborn. But in the best way. You know what works, you stick to what works, and you have very little patience for people who don't do their homework. You're also surprisingly great in a crisis. While everyone else is panicking, you've already got a plan, a backup plan, and snacks. Footwear note, wide fit is essential here. You've got a broad foot and squeezing it into something narrow is just not happening. Celtic foot. And this one is a wild combination. You've got a big toe that's long, a second toe that's also long, sometimes longer, then toes 3, 4, and 5 drop off pretty sharply. What it says about you. You are spontaneous, imaginative, and you make decisions with your gut, not your head. Definitely not a spreadsheet. Just pure instinct, and somehow it usually works out. Celtic foot people are storytellers. You're the one at the dinner table with the best anecdote. You find magic in random, ordinary moments. Your playlists are incredible. Your sense of humor is chaotic in the most lovable way. You can also be impulsive, which is great for adventure and occasionally terrible for your bank account. But hey, you've got good stories. The Asian foot tends to be compact and slightly wider across the forefoot, with toes that are relatively even in length, similar to the Roman or Germanic shape, but typically narrower at the heel. The overall profile is neat and proportionate. In traditional East Asian and Southeast Asian folk interpretations, this foot shape is linked to people who are detail-oriented, patient, and deeply loyal. You notice things other people miss. You're precise. You care about quality. You're also associated with a strong sense of community. Your people are your people, and you will go to the mat for them without hesitation. Footwear insight. The slightly wider forefoot combined with a narrower heel can make standard sizing a bit hit or miss. Half sizes and adjustable straps are your allies. The African foot. Characterized by a broader, wider shape across the entire foot, with strong, well-spread toes and a flatter arch. It is built for the earth. Literally. Traditional interpretations from various African cultural contexts link this foot shape to people who are grounded, community first, and deeply connected to place and tradition. You don't just live somewhere, you belong there. You build things, families, communities, legacies. You're also adaptable and resilient. Things shift, the ground changes, and you adjust, because you've got the foundation to handle it. The wide, flat structure also means you distribute weight really efficiently, which in practical terms means you're often comfortable on your feet longer than most people. The Aboriginal foot, noted for its longer, leaner shape with distinctly elongated toes that spread wide. This foot shape evolved for gripping terrain, rocks, roots, uneven ground, with remarkable dexterity. Character traits associated with this shape: intuitive, perceptive, and deeply tuned into your surroundings. You read rooms, you read people. You have an almost instinctive sense of when something's off. And you're usually right. You're also patient in a way that most people aren't. You can wait, you can watch, and then when the moment is right, you move. The Mongolian foot, wide across the midfoot, strong, with the big toe often dominant, and toes that don't taper dramatically. Built for endurance, built for distance. People with this shape are described as fiercely independent, enduring, and self-reliant. You don't need a lot of external validation. You set a goal, you move toward it, and you do not stop. You're also direct, almost shockingly direct sometimes. You don't do hints. If you have something to say, you say it, which people either love immediately or need about 2 weeks to appreciate. And you have a deep connection to freedom, open spaces, wide horizons, not being stuck behind a desk at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. Last but absolutely not least, the Norwegian foot. Narrow, long, with a high arch, and a notable tapering from the ball of the foot toward the heel. Elegant, efficient, slightly intimidating. What it says about you: you are quietly exceptional. You don't need the spotlight. You're just out here doing impressive things at your own pace and then going home. Norwegian foot people are described as thoughtful, hardy, and self-sufficient. You plan, you prepare. You have a backup plan and a backup for the backup. You could probably survive a week in the wilderness and come back looking fine. You're also a bit of an introvert. Not cold, just selective. You'd rather have one really solid conversation than 20 surface-level ones. Your inner circle is small and completely unshakable. Footwear note: high arches mean you need arch support and cushioning, not flat insoles. And the narrow heel can mean some shoes slip at the back. Look for adjustable ankle straps. So, which foot are you? Drop it in the comments. And if your foot is a mix of two of these, congratulations. You're just built different.